The next Nintendo Switch revision, or the Nintendo Switch Pro, is real, it's happening, and it's only a matter of time before it gets revealed. We got some brand new information that could confirm the Nintendo Switch Pro specifications as well as a potential release date. And we're also going to talk about when the Nintendo Switch Pro could potentially get revealed. So first and foremost, let's talk about the big news. And this is coming from Bloomberg. It's been shared around Reddit multiple times. It happened about 3 days ago. I didn't want to cover it at first because I didn't know how much validity it had, but then it started picking up some steam across the interwebs. So I figured it would be worth giving you guys my take on whether or not I think some of it's valid or if it's just a bunch of baloney. So according to the article, Nintendo plans to reiterate a holiday launch in 2021 for the Nintendo Switch revision. According to the summary on Reddit r/gaming leaks and rumors, as well as r/Nintendo Switch, they said that the hardware sales will either remain flat or grow slightly due to the revision. The article goes on to mention that the expectations are much higher placed on the Nintendo Switch Pro or the revision than the PlayStation 4 Pro, which sold 2 million at the launch window. As we know, the Nintendo Switch Pro is likely already in production. The Samsung OLED displays are starting production in June, so this would make sense for a holiday 2021 launch window. They also mentioned that the launch could reach up to 12 million units sold for the Nintendo Switch Pro, and according to hardware forecasts, they speculate that the MSRP could be higher for the revision, upwards of 20%. So if we take the current cost of the Nintendo Switch, which is about $299 without tax, add on another 20%, and that would mean the Nintendo Switch Pro is likely going to cost anywhere from $349 to even $360. There's been a lot of people that have speculated that the Nintendo Switch Pro or the revision could cost $399, but I don't think that that's going to be possible, as the current PlayStation 5, the digital version, costs $399. There is no way Nintendo releases a Switch revision and charge almost the price of a PlayStation 5 console, so that's why I think the price for the Nintendo Switch Pro revision will be about $349. But if Nintendo could somehow make the price of the Nintendo Switch revision to like $320 or even $299, that would be absolutely game-changing, but as it currently stands, don't expect to pay less than $350. The article then goes on to mention that Zelda is a strong launch candidate with several round-out titles to accompany it. And as you guys know, I've stated this many times and I'm going to state it again, there's no way Nintendo releases the Nintendo Switch Pro without launching it alongside Breath of the Wild 2. That is their game plan. That has been their strategy for a while. It worked for the Nintendo Switch console, and they're going to do the same thing with the Switch revision. The only way Nintendo doesn't launch the Switch Pro without Breath of the Wild is if they release it with a game like Mario Kart 9. There's been a lot of rumors going around that Mario Kart 9 is releasing this year, and you know how they say when there's smoke, there's usually fire, but I don't think that's going to be the case, for the simple fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is currently the top selling game on the Nintendo Switch console, and Nintendo would not be that crazy to release Mario Kart 9 when 8 Deluxe is doing so well. But in Nintendo's eyes, that might be the perfect time to do it. Now we've got to talk about this last point from the Bloomberg article. They stated that the performance of the Nintendo Switch Pro revision is expected to be in line with the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. I'm not sure if this was like taken out of context or if the person who wrote the article was just off their rocker, because there is no way the Nintendo Switch Pro will be on the same spec level as the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Now, it is worth mentioning the next Nintendo Switch will feature DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling. As much as DLSS is some dark magic wizardry, there is no way that at the pure spec level it will get anywhere close to the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One X. Now, I will happily be proven wrong, and I would love to play AAA titles like Cyberpunk 2077 or GTA 5 on the Nintendo Switch, but at this point, I don't think that that's going to be possible. Unless this new NVIDIA chip that's going to be on the Nintendo Switch Pro has like DLSS 3.0 that is just completely game-changing compared to the 2.0 technology, then I do not see how they're even going to get it close to the spec of the Xbox One X. But I guess we will have to wait and see. Now let's talk about the potential reveal date for the Nintendo Switch Pro. We know Nintendo has got some big plans to break some records this year in terms of software sales, and at this current time, the only games that we know that are releasing are from the first half of the year. That means the second half of this year is going to be absolutely cracked. In my opinion, the best time for them to announce the Nintendo Switch Pro is right at the middle mark, which is June of this year. I think in June, we're going to get a big Nintendo Switch Direct. I think that's going to be the next general direct that we get, and it's going to highlight all of the games coming out for the rest of the year for 2021, and it will be the perfect time to announce and reveal the Nintendo Switch Pro as well as Breath of the Wild sequel. I think they're going to showcase Breath of the Wild 2 first, give it the title name, and then at the very end for the one more thing, they're going to showcase Breath of the Wild 2 playing on the Nintendo Switch Pro revision. Just with the new Nintendo Switch Pro SoC, the Breath of the Wild and Hyrule that we know is going to look 10 times better on the Switch Pro. I think they reveal both the Switch Pro as well as Breath of the Wild 2 on the same day, and then they announced them both releasing on the same day, holiday 2021. The hype and excitement of the Switch Pro is only going to get bigger with it releasing alongside the Switch Pro, so I don't see Nintendo deviating from that plan. Their goal is to recreate a year one for the Nintendo Switch. We've already gotten Splatoon 3 announced. All that's left is the next Breath of the Wild game, as well as a new Mario Kart. Whether or not the information from the Bloomberg article is real, I will leave that up to you guys to decide. Now, I personally think the article from Bloomberg has a lot of information that's pretty much already known. There was nothing really groundbreaking from here. I think there was a little bit of information that was kind of far out there, like the Switch Pro being as good as the Xbox One X. But like I said, I'm going to let you guys decide. Take it with a grain of salt. Either way, we know Nintendo is ramping up for a big year this year, so I'm sure there will be some groundbreaking announcements. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you all once again for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you on the next video.